Hello vaping chums, and thanks very much for joining me once again for another little bit of rambling from Dean the Vaping Biker. I am going to try really hard not to have this bit go on for too long. So I'm going to try and get, my aim is going to be like 10 minutes max. So we'll see how I get on. I've made notes and stuff and everything. Anyway, what's this about today? A couple of things. First of all, to let you know what I've been up to recently, which isn't oiling my squeaky chair. I went to Vapor Expo in Birmingham in the UK yesterday, so I got some cool stuff to tell you about that. And I've got a few more bits and bobs coming up in the review queue, so I'm going to let you know a little bit more about what to expect. Before I go on, thank you very much to all of the new subscribers. Really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's awesome to see how quickly those subscriptions are going up, and I really appreciate it. I really do. It boggles me. I don't quite get that people enjoy watching me rambling on, but I really appreciate it, so thank you very much. I know the 75 watt Sigelli probably helped quite a lot for that one, but if you stick around, check out the other videos, check out what's coming up, and hopefully I can keep you interested. So thanks again for pressing that subscribe button, and if you haven't done so far, go for it. Why the hell not? Now then, what have we got to go on with? So, Vapor Expo. Yes, hang on, let me just take a sip of tea. I am so tired. Vapor Expo yesterday. Oh, it was a tiring day, but a good one. Really, really did enjoy it. Really enjoyed it. It was it wasn't the biggest event, but it was a fair size. There was quite a few vendors there, obviously mainly juice, although there was a few hardware guys there and a few doing both. Not that much kind of really new stuff or any kind of mod makers in there, or you know, at Vapor Expo, no Vape Jam that I went to a few months ago, you had the Flawless guys there, and a couple of others that brought stuff over that we're not used to seeing, which was really cool. But we didn't get that quite so much in this one. Having said that, there were some great juice vendors there, and like I say, there was a couple of nice bits of hardware if you had a good old look about. So I met some awesome people, and this is the key thing for me. I mean, some people have been going on various Facebook groups, and I've noticed this today, and it's kind of annoying that they put a downer on the event because they're saying that, you know, or they didn't get enough free juice or whatever, or enough free shit. And I think if you go to an event like that just to get free shit, I think that you've probably got your priorities wrong. You get to taste a crap load of juice. There is ridiculous amounts of juice, and every juice vendor pretty much had tasters. So, you know, all those people that complain about spending their hard-earned money on mail ordering some juice and it turns up and it was shit, then, you know, that takes that out of the equation. If you went around and just tasted a buttload, then, you know, you'd have a juice list for your next purchases for the rest of the year. So that's, you know, don't whinge about not getting enough free stuff. Just go there and enjoy it, and everyone's a winner. There's also people that kind of are saying, you know, that they own shops or they do this, that and the other when they don't, which is just, it's, you know, I kind of get it because, you know, I understand it to some degree, but nonetheless, if you have 20 vendors, for instance, at an event, and they're giving away a crap load of stuff to what they believe is to be a load of shop owners, and only kind of a quarter of those people, if that, come back to you after the event, then, you know, they're not going to be so inclined to do it again next time. So then we all lose out as vapors because, you know, that vendor may not turn up, and they may be the bollocks. But anyway, that's just my own personal little thing. So move that to one side, and yeah, met some awesome people, had some really good chats with some awesome guys. John, Kelvin, and Jamie from Vapors Worldwide on YouTube. They're awesome. You know, Jamie. I think Jamie's got his own channel. Kelvin's obviously got Fat Vaper with a PH. Brilliant channels, great guys. and really had good chats with those guys. Also, there was Neil from That British Vape Show, who's just started up his own channel. I think he's got 3 or 4 videos on now, and he's got a good sense of humour. He's got he's knocking out some good stuff, and he's a really nice guy as well. So go across to his show and have a little look at that as well. But really enjoyed chatting to those guys. The other thing that did my boxing was, you know, other than the fact I can't quite get over how many people are watching my videos, which is crazy. People were coming up to me for the first time and sort of introducing themselves or saying that they've watched a review or something, and I was shaking hands with quite a few people, and it was mental. It was yeah. Do you know what I mean? It was just so surreal. It was crazy. But thank you to everybody that did come up and say hello. That it made my day. It was awesome. So I know that my resting face is a bit of a fuck off face, but I'm okay. So if you do see me at anything, feel free to come up and have a chat, because it makes me a happy boy. But yeah, so that was very cool. Now, what else did I see? Phil and Dimitri, they were there. Awesome as always. You know, they're both spectacularly nice blokes. Both take time out to chat to you about random stuff, and just really good guys. So, you know, awesome stuff. I love seeing those chaps. Who else do I see? Vendors wise, I had a couple of really cool vendors that I really enjoyed speaking to. There was Tim at Fortune Mods, and his tubes. You know, they're lovely tubes, and he had one, I can't remember the name of it, and I can't even remember the battery that went in it, but it was quite possibly the smallest little mod I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome. The guys at Herman Vapes. Now, these chaps I've got a big apology for, because at Vape Expo, no, I keep saying Vape Expo, at Vape Jam a few months ago, I spoke to those, and one of the guys gave me one of the new range of the Nick Green stuff coming out of the Namberjuice guys from the Grim Cult range, and I got home and I'd lost the business card, and they haven't got a website yet, so I couldn't search for them on there, and I couldn't remember the name of the company, and it was all kinds of messed up. But I will be reviewing some Namberjuice soon, and obviously they're going to be part of that. I did actually I bought some more Strawberry Circus from them yesterday as well. But awesome guys, really great stand. And as far as I know, the only guys in the UK that are stocking Namberjuice and all the Epicloud stuff and the Grim Cult range and all that sort of stuff. So I'll put their link down below here as well. So thanks very much to the Herman Vapes people. Another interesting company, a company called Black Magic Premium E-Juice. I had a chat with Thomas from those guys, and also the guy that owns the business, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. I purchased some of this Ouija magic stuff from those guys, which is kind of like an orangey vibe going on, which I thought was you know, it tastes pretty good. It's definitely better in a dripper than it is in a tank, I found out today. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Just looking for a card. Here we go. One of my other purchases that I made yesterday was some concentrates, because who doesn't like making their own juice from time to time? So look at those bad boys. This is from Cupcake World. Now I haven't tried them yet, but they were doing a great deal of 2 of these. I think they're 100ml. Yeah, 200ml concentrates for a tenner, bargain, and they threw in a smaller 50. That looks pretty much like 50ml to me, or 30. That might be 30. Well, let's go with 30ml, shall we? But they threw one of those in as well. So that's from cupcakeworld.co.uk. So I'm interested to see what their juice is like. And I'm going to be mixing that up as Max VG, even with a VG base on the nicotine, which I got from Alchemist Cupboard because it's local to me. So that was cool. There was some interesting stuff as well. There was a company with that's got a sort of an app coming out, or out rather, So it apparently will tell you all of your local vape shops and all that sort of good gear if people are signing up to it. I don't know the details on that yet, so I'm going to look into that a little bit more. And a company, a European, I can't remember if, I think they're French. They are French. Called J-Well, that had some really interesting pieces and a couple of really interesting pieces when it comes to tanks and drippers, and they're making a couple of changes. So in a few weeks' time, hopefully I'll have something that I can show you guys to give you something a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. Who else? Now then, there was I've been speaking to Steam Crave recently anyway, and their UK distributors, the Nobacconists, great guy. There's the whole stand was populated by really top people, really chatty, really kind, and they were flooded for the majority of the day. But I got to have a good old chat with Abby, the chap that runs the show there, and super nice guy. So really enjoyed having a chat with him, and also the mixologist chap that they've got. I'm really sorry, but I can't remember his name. Oh, no, it's gone. Sorry, but yeah. So what I got from those, I've got a couple of items to review for those guys and for Steam Crave, which is the Aromamizer RDA, and this is the round one rather than the funny shaped one, and also an Aromamizer RDTA. And I tried this on the stand, and the airflow was ridiculous, proper mental, crazy airflow, and it's also got a really interesting way of wicking. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that rolls with the high VG stuff. I also got some juice from those guys as well, and so far they've got something called pear shaped, which is a 30 PG 70 VG, which is that was rocking it. I've got a bunch of the other ones to try as well. I'm looking forward to a banana milk. That should be rather good. So yeah, I mean, yesterday met some, let's say, some fantastic vendors. The guys at, oh my god, what are they called? I can't remember. Oh yeah, ifancyone.com. Really another great populated store. People just super friendly and chatty. And element vapes as well, or e-juice, e-liquid, really good guys. Got to speak to the boss man there for a little bit, and they do an orange kind of high VG liquid, which is it's gorgeous, and they'd run out, so I couldn't have any. Most upset, but they tried ever so hard to find me some. But yeah, awesome people. I think there's still some vendors that possibly could work on their skills and actually be a bit more sociable, but everyone that I spoke to generally seemed to be pretty good, bar one or two. So awesome. I really enjoyed the event. I really had a great time. I really got to meet some very cool people and some very cool vendors. So that was awesome sauce. I'm over time already, 13:25. Right, hurrying it up. What have I been vaping and what's coming up? I've got the Mini Goblin. And that, by the way, is awesome. Right, 35 watts at the moment. I put a 0.3 dual coil in there. I think it's about 7 wraps of 24 gauge, I think, over 2.5. It's a bit of a tight fit. It's awesome. The airflow's not super wide open. It's no kind of big old sub-ohm tank as we're used to with things like the Zephyrus and various others, but even with that slight restriction, and that primarily I imagine is probably going to be down to the coils because they're taking up such a lot of space on the deck, but that's going to be up for review. And I've got some liquid from Bordeaux 2, the French company. Looking forward to giving some of that a bash, and I've got a couple of liquids from the J-Well guys as well under their All Saints range, it looks like. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving those a go. I mean, I don't really do juice reviews, so if you don't hear anything, then I probably didn't get on with it, to be honest with you. the reason I don't really do juice reviews is not because I'm all hoity-toity and can't be arsed with it, but it's because juice is just so damn subjective. If there's something that rocks my world, if there's something that I really enjoy, then of course I'm going to share that with you guys. But you know, if I get a juice or a liquid that I just don't get on with at all, that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't. You've got different taste buds to me, you know. One of them things, isn't it? So you know, I don't really do that much e-liquid stuff. Hardware, you know where you are. It's got airflow or it hasn't. It's got 4 posts or it's got 3, or it's, you know, you know where you're at. You can't really argue with some of that stuff. So you know, that's what I'm going to stick with. What have I got also coming up? Well, I'm going to have the 75 watt living with kind of full review. So it's working brilliantly. It does go through batteries. If you buy one, get 2 batteries, because I went through 2 and I got onto my 3rd in a heavy day of vaping at the Expo yesterday. So I've got that. Obviously, I've said about the Mini Goblin. I've still got my living with review on the Paul Taylor P-Box with the 120 Raptor, which is still the tits, by the way. It's awesome and powerful and cloudy and marvellous. I've got the living with the Velocity, which is still awesome and marvellous. So those ones I'm going to try and keep pretty short. It's not worked out overly well today. And I've got the Wadabi, living with that as well, which is, once again, I'm so lucky recently because everything I've been buying just works. Oh, and I've got the Sapor, whatever it is, from Wotofo, which is a poor man's Aeolus. But that doesn't make it a bad thing. It's a cracking, affordable, genuine, top airflow little RDA, and I'm loving it. And it does chuck them. It really does. And that's with like a 0.35 build. So yeah, all good. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Under 20 minutes. Go, under 20 minutes. So that's my onions. Yesterday, awesome. New stuff coming up. Mini Goblin, 75 watt, brilliant setup. That way, they work really well together. Everyone's happy. Juice is all over the show. That's fabulous. Epic Clouds is great. This stuff is great. The concentrate, I don't know. I fancy one of them. No. ifancyone.com, great guys. Nobacconists, great guys. Just loads of great cool people. Anyway, that's it for me today, people. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you'll be as excited as I am about some of the stuff coming up. Oh, the Aeolus V2 should be coming up. Should be getting delivered at some point this week. Super excited about that. If you see my Aeolus V1 review I did a while ago, I loved that, so I'm pretty confident this is going to be pretty sweet as well. So thank you very much for watching. That's me done for today, ladies and gents. Thank you once again. If you haven't seen me before, click on subscribe, and some of the new funky shit could be coming out, well, will be coming out shortly. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, people. As for today, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. You guys keep living it large and having it large. Hang on!